This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning, bonjour, and Happy New Year. Thanks for getting up with us this Sunday. I'm Christelle Kumwe. This morning on Sunrise, 2 people dead in Portland just hours into the new year as the city's gun violence rises and it continues. And a man dies on a cold Christmas day after leaving medical treatment at the Portland VA. What his family wants everyone to look out for starting now. But first, let's check in with Keely Chalmers with a quick look at your Sunday forecast. Keely?
Hey, good morning, Christelle. Yeah, we've got a rainy forecast in store for you. Temperatures very chilly out there right now. So the story this morning, the cool temperatures, but the story tonight is going to be the rain and the potential flooding as well as some windy conditions. We're at 31 degrees right now, so still below freezing. If there is any moisture on the roads out there, it is frozen and it is slick this morning. That will be changing, however, as we head throughout the day. Temperatures will warm up. But as those temperatures warm, we're also going to get another band of very intense rain moving in. So here's a look at how your day is shaping up. We're going to be about 40 degrees by noon. So things will be melting up there in the higher elevations where there's still some slick roads. 40 degrees at noon, showers move in. 44 at 5 o'clock. We're talking heavy showers, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain in the valley expected. That's through tomorrow. 2 to 4 inches on the coast and the coast range. And we're talking not just inches, but feet of snow in the Cascades. Also going to be a bit breezy tonight with winds gusting anywhere from 35 to 45 miles per hour here in the metro area. So some active weather to talk about. We'll break it down for you coming up in your full forecast. Christelle?
Thanks, Keely. We've got some breaking news right now in Hillsborough. A huge fire is burning through several businesses. This is at Southeast Main Street and Southeast 3rd in the downtown area of Hillsborough. You can see the flames shooting off the roof of one of the businesses. The fire started burning overnight. There are several businesses in the area, including the clothing shop, Nons on 3rd, Hill Florist and Gifts, and Mom Nancy Tea and Chocolate. Firefighters say they had to close off several blocks around the area of the fire. We're going to keep following this and bring you updates on air and KGW.com. A local family is sharing a story of loss after their loved one died about a week ago in the cold. Henry Steele was found outside and unresponsive on Christmas Day. He was getting treatment for cancer at the VA hospital, and it's not exactly clear what happened after that. Steele's family says he had memory issues recently and may have boarded the wrong bus when leaving. They said it's a good reminder to the community to step in if you see someone possibly struggling.
I understand how right now with everything going on, we're so worried about everything that we're not taking 2 seconds to worry about somebody else. Those 2 seconds could have saved his life. Even if it would have steered him in the direction of somewhere other than in the cold.
The VA said it cannot comment on this specific case, but it did say it helps veterans who may have cognitive or other challenges get reliable transportation when they leave facilities. After a record-breaking year, it took less than 2 hours into 2022 for gun violence to start again in Portland, leaving 2 people dead. Police responded to Northeast Prescott and 131st Place just before 2 in the morning yesterday. They found 3 victims. One was pronounced dead at the scene. Another died at the hospital. The third is expected to survive. Police didn't find anyone to arrest and again are asking for anyone with information to come forward. The pandemic is hitting professional sports hard. That includes the NBA, where dozens of players are unable to play because of the league's COVID protocols. Some key players here with the Trailblazers and the head coach were out of action this past week. Art Edwards has a look at what we can expect.
I literally didn't know until I came in the building and I was like, where is everybody?
It turned out 7 Blazers were in the NBA's health and safety protocols. More than 100 players around the league have missed time, and 11 games, including the Blazers-Nets game on December 23rd, have been postponed. Head coach Chauncey Billups and assistant Roy Rogers are also in the protocols. The Blazers got Ben McLemore and Dennis Smith Jr. back, but Anthony Simons and Brandon Williams entered the protocols.
It's definitely been a challenge, and I think as a team, we've done a good job of just continuing to fight, continuing to work, and continuing to compete.
The Blazers are undermanned and undersized and have lost 3 in a row since playing with the depleted roster. They are tied for 12th place in the Western Conference.
This is not only the physical part, this is mentally exhausting. I mean, you have to deal with a lot of stuff.
Norman Powell has been through this before. He started last season with the Toronto Raptors before being traded to Portland. The Raptors had 2 games postponed last season because of a COVID-19 outbreak within the team.
This is my second time going through it. So I kind of know how it feels, but I tell the guys, it's a great opportunity, for the guys who just signed and some of the guys that don't play as much when, all the veteran guys are healthy, to go out there and show and play hard and show you what you've been working on.
The Blazers players still in protocols are Yusuf Nurkic, Cody Zeller, Anthony Simons, Keljin Blevins, Robert Covington, and Trendon Watford. The Blazers signed Brandon Williams, Cameron McGriff, Reggie Perry, and Jaron Cumberland from the G League. Damian Lillard says he knows that it's a big opportunity for those players.
I feel like my role was to, embrace them and welcome them, and realize that this is a opportunity of a lifetime, regardless of how long it lasts. They're going to be able to say I played in the NBA. I was in the locker room with Dame, and I want that experience to be a positive experience.
Players have to remain isolated for at least 6 days, and if they don't have any symptoms, they have to pass 2 COVID tests 24 hours apart before they can return. The new year brings a new law to Washington state meant to cut down on plastic waste in the environment. It targets restaurants and to-go orders. Pat Doris reports.
For nearly 90 years, Joe Brown's Cafe in downtown Vancouver has served up some of the best food around. It's famous for things like hash browns and pancakes the size of a plate. The building holds just 5 booths, which was fine before the pandemic, but once COVID hit, to-go orders saved this place.
It was the to-go orders that kept us going and kept us in business. And so we've kept it up now because it is a big part of our business.
And because of that, Washington State's new law targeting the things that typically are sent with those orders will have a big impact here. The law bans restaurants from routinely handing out plastic utensils or straws or lids for most cold drinks. It also bans routinely including condiment packages like ketchup or mustard. Customers can still get those things, but they have to ask first.
We're trying to reduce that load of plastic pollution into our environment.
Heather Trim is executive director of a statewide group called Zero Waste Washington. She sent over pictures of plastics found during various cleanups. She believes forcing customers to ask for straws and other plastics will help keep that stuff out of the environment.
Oh, yeah, this is a great first step. So Washington was the first state to pass a statewide law. California has since passed one last summer, and we're expecting that other states will as well.
Oregon has not passed a similar law, but the city of Portland did back in late 2019. We tried to find out the impact of the law, but did not hear back from the city by the time we put this report together. Back in Vancouver, Karen Carlton expects some customers to be confused and unhappy.
If I don't send out the little jelly, then what do? Put it in the plastic cup? I mean, I don't know what they want us to do.
The new law will allow her to send out that jelly packet, but only if the customer asks for it first. Karen said she wants to protect the environment as much as anyone, but worries about the next step in a couple of years that targets plastic and styrofoam containers.
Yeah, those are plastic. Our boxes are plastic, and then we also have the styrofoam.
Those changes in food containers are still a ways off, but they are coming. In the meantime, there are a few exceptions for these other rules. For example, if you buy a cold drink at a drive-thru, you won't have to ask for a lid. It'll just have one. And if you're at a big event that has more than 2,500 people, it will have lids if you buy a soda, for example. Also, coffee and tea, you won't have to ask for lids. But otherwise, there are a bunch of changes coming, all designed to protect the environment in Washington State. In Portland, Pat Doris, KGW News.
Thanks for sticking with us this morning. Coming up, from the rise in gun violence to a pandemic that's overwhelmed hospitals.
really heartbreaking knowing that people are fighting for their lives, and it could have been prevented.
Plus the ongoing crisis of homelessness, we're taking a look back at some of the biggest concerns in our area as we enter a new year.